The Day of Judgment has over 300 names. One of those names we read in Surah Al-Fatiha is Maliki Yawmiddin. Yawmiddin means that you will be recompensed for the good or the evil that you did. Another name for the Day of Judgment is Yawmul Hasra. Yawmul Hasra means that day of regret, that day of remorse, where man will remember all the warnings that he received in this dunya, but he did not take heed of them. Man will say, Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Oh, I wish today I was just dust. Man will say, I wish I had prepared for this day. On that day, people will be drowning in their sweat. But if we sweat for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya, then we will have no regrets on that day, besides one regret. The Messenger of Allah said, even those who go into Jannah, they will have only one regret. And that one regret will be that we wish we worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, so our status and our closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was more. Another name for the Day of Judgment is Ghashiyah. What does Ghashiyah mean? Ghashiyah means that occasion which is overwhelming. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ الْغَاشِيَةِ وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ خَاشِعَةٌ آمِلَةٌ نَاصِبَةٌ. Has the news of that which is overwhelming come to you? That day when faces will be humbled. Amilatun nasiba. People would have worked in this dunya, but they will be tired on the Day of Judgment. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu once saw a monk. He saw this monk. He lived a total life of abstinence from the dunya, and Umar radiallahu anhu looked at this man and he began to cry. And he recited the verse, Wujuhi yawma idin khashi'ah amilatun nasibah. That on that day, faces will be humbled. And this man who has exerted himself, he looks tired. You can see his tiredness in this dunya. But the outcome will be, he will enter into the fire of Jahannam. Another name for the Day of Judgment is Yawmul Khulud. Why is it known as Yawmul Khulud? Because this period will never end. It will be 50,000 years equivalent to the days of this dunya. But there will be no rising of the sun or setting of the sun. After that 50,000 years, people will either enter into Jannah or Jahannam, and they will remain in those places eternally. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, enter into Jannah with peace. And that is Yawmul Khulud, your day of eternity. Another name is Yawm al-Azifa. Yawm al-Azifa is a very interesting name. Why? Because it means something which is close. Allah defines this as a day which is close. It's not far away. You may think it's far away. No, it is very close. Therefore, prepare for it before the day occurs. Another name for the Day of Judgment, Yawm al-Tanad, the day of cooling. Why? Because on that day, everybody will be calling each other. The Anbiya alayhim salatu would warn, as the Quran mentioned, وَيَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ يَوْمَ التَّنَادِ. Said, oh my qawm, oh my people, I warn you of the day of Tanad, where people will call out to others and ask them for help. They will call out to the Anbiya. The Anbiya will call out the people. The angel will call to the people. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call out the people. Everybody will be calling each other on that day. This is why it is known as Yawm al-Tanad.